Hi everybody, this is Bug-Ass Reviews, and today I'm going to be doing a review on the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Arkham City Batman figure. So before we take a look at Batman, let's take a look at the accessories that he comes with. So first up, he comes with the legs of the Solomon Grundy Build-A-Figure. Up next, he comes with your standard DC Multiverse base, and unlike the last version, he actually stands pretty well on his own, so you really don't need this. Up next, you get his data file, with a nice shot there from the game, and if you want to read that, go ahead and pause that now. And finally, he comes with his grapnel gun. And this looks really good. It's got some great sculpt detail to it. It's just cast in black, though. It would have been nice if it would have had a wash of gunmetal over top of it. That would have looked really cool. So now let's go ahead and take a look at the head sculpt. So taking a look at this head sculpt, I think McFarlane Toys did an awesome job on this. I think it looks really good. The cowl there looks very nice. He has a very nice expression. If you look here, he actually has some paint variation. He has some really light skin tone right here, and then he has a darker skin tone painted over top of it. With my lights on my review station on here, it's really noticeable where that paint starts and stops. So that is kind of odd. This head sculpt has the whited out eyes, and I think that looks really good. If I remember right, you can actually see his pupils in the game, but they changed that for this head sculpt, and I think that looks really good. The previous version actually had the eyes, and I don't know, that just looks funny. Maybe it's because they're not printed on. I don't know, the eyes on this one, now that I look back on it, looks a little funny. This Batman features a new head sculpt, cape, and chest piece. As you can see, the new chest piece features the larger Bat logo, and that looks really good. I like the cape on this new version better. I like the way it's flowing in the wind, because now that I have my review station, this one doesn't want to stand up at all. His cape actually makes him do that. So that's really irritating. That was something I didn't originally find out on my regular video. So this does mostly reuse pieces. You get some new gauntlets. I do wish the new one would have had this wash of gunmetal over top of it. That would have been really cool. At least the knuckles of the gloves are painted on silver. This one doesn't have that. The paint on this belt is a lot better. This one's just a plain yellowish color. I think a black wash would have really improved that, but we don't get any of that. We do get the same leg pieces, this time with less paint. And it looks like it has some texturing to it. I don't know, this one doesn't look like it has any texturing to it, but this one looks like it has some texturing to it. So there are pros and cons to each version. This one would have been nice if it would have had just a little more paint, but I do like the cape and the head sculpt better on this one. As I said, you also get the new gauntlets right there. So yeah, I do like both versions. I'm kind of leaning more towards this one. I think this one looks a little more dynamic and the head sculpt looks better. You could probably switch the heads out, but that would be hard to do without boiling. Some of these McFarlane head joints are very tough to pop off. Some are easy to pop off and some are hard, so I don't want to try that and break this. So now let's go ahead and go over Batman's articulation. So he has a ball jointed head that can look up all the way. He can look down just a little bit. He can move his head side to side. He has ball-jointed shoulders that can move all the way out. The cape does not hinder that. He has really nice butterfly joints. He has a swivel at the bicep, single-jointed elbow that can only bend in that far. Looks like it could bend in just a little more, but it stops right there. The ball-jointed wrists on mine don't seem to function properly because the wrists on mine just move side to side, but that up and down movement isn't there. What I'm getting right now is just from me warping that joint. So I'm going to have to boil that and see why it's not moving. He has a ball-jointed diaphragm and waist that can move back all the way. He can't really crunch forward all the way. He can move side to side here. He can move side to side very slightly at the waist. He can do a complete split. He can kick forward that far. He can kick back that far. He has a little bit of a thigh swivel. He has double-jointed knees, ball-jointed ankles that can move down all the way, up that far, spin all the way around, and toe articulation that can move up all the way. So now, let's do some size comparisons. So first up, there he is next to the Batman Who Won't Stand. Here he is next to Joker. Here he is next to Catwoman. And finally, here he is next to the Arkham Knight. So overall, I would highly recommend picking this version up. I really do like it. Like I said, there are some cons to it, like the wrists don't want to move. The articulation is pretty much the same as the previous version since it does use parts from that mold, and it could have had a little bit of better paint. But overall, I do think I like this version more. I just think it looks a lot better. He can stand on his own, unlike the last one. and this head sculpt looks really good. It's a big improvement on that last Batman Arkham head sculpt. So that's my review. If you like this review, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.